Okay, so let's do this really quick because I know it's a little late and I just want to finish this with you guys. So this is the derivative of tangent 3x, so y prime equals secant square 3x times 3, right? The derivative of the inside from the chain rule. That's 3 secant square 3x. What about this one? So y prime equals, well, 4 is just a constant, right? So this is going to be 4 secant 5x tangent 5x. And the derivative of inside is 5, right? The derivative of 5x is just 5. So you multiply these two, the 4 and the 5 together, and you get 20, right? That's it. Now here you have to use the limit definition, right? And you have to find the equation of the tangent line. So I'm going to do that somewhere else because I don't have room. Let me see if I solve all these problems. I put it here, right? Let me erase this stuff. Okay, so let me copy this here somewhere else because I need room for that. Okay, so this is what they want. So for the first one, let's call this 1, 2, 3. Okay. So f prime of x using the limit definition is the limit as h approaches 0, f of x plus h minus f of x over h, right? Very easy thing to do. So just choose the limit definition, right? So this is going to be 1 over x plus h minus 1 over square root of x over h. And if you do this, you need to multiply here by everything by square root of x plus h square root of x, right? And then the same here. Okay, numerator and denominator by that. So if you do that, you get square root of x minus x plus h, and then denominator you get all this stuff, right? So h, and this is x plus h square root of x. So this is going to be root x. Okay, so at this point we can use the limit definition. Let's see if well, it's not going to work yet, right? So we need to multiply by the conjugate, right? So this is going to be x plus h, and then the same thing, x square root of x plus h. So here is the difference of squares, right? A squared minus b squared equals a plus b, a minus b, right? So that's going to be x. Well, in reality, it's just x, right? Minus square root of x plus h. And then this is actually not, it's just this thing, right? So this is minus x plus h. And then we have h, and then we have all this stuff together, right? So we have x plus h times the square root of x times the square root of x, right? Plus x plus h. And this is the limit as h approaches 0, right? So if we do that, we get x minus h over all this stuff in the denominator, right? Let me copy that. Okay, so that's that. And that becomes this. So now these cancel out with that, and limit as h approaches 0, we have negative, we have negative h over h and all this stuff, right? So I'm gonna copy and paste that to make it simple, to save some time. So this is that, and then we cancel the h's, right? Limit as h approaches 0, this cancels with that. So we got negative 1 over all this stuff, right? X plus h. Let me copy and paste this thing too. Okay, so that stays the same. So now we can apply the limit, right? The limit as h approaches 0. So let's plug the limit here now. So we got negative 1 as h approaches 0. That means this is x times x. And then we have square root of x plus, if h approaches 0, this is going to be x. So this is going to be negative 1 over, well, this is 1/2 times 1/2, that's just 1. And then this is going to be 2 root x. So therefore, this is going to be negative 1. And we have 2, 1/2 and 1, that's going to be 3/2, right? So this is the derivative, right? And they're asking you in the problem to find the limit definition at when a equals 4. So when a equals 4 is basically x equals 4, right? So if you plug that 4 here in the derivative, that will give you the slope of the tangent line at 4. So this is -1/2 times 4 to the 3 halves, right? So this is basically -1 2 halves square root of 4 cubed, right? So this is going to be -1 2. I mean, this is going to be 2 cubed is just 8, and you just need to compute, right? So this is -1/16. So this is the slope of the tangent line at 4. So the equation of the now you need to find the y value, right? The function was f of x equals 1/√x. I'm not wrong. Yes, that's the function. And I need to find the y value, or f of 4, and that's gonna be you plug 4 in the function, you get 1/2, right? So this is gonna be 1/2. So that means the y value is, the x value is 4. So you can put 4, 1/2, right? Now we need to find the equation of the tangent line. So y equals mx plus b. The slope is -1/16. The x value is 4. The y value is 1/2. And b is, I mean, we need to find the y-intercept. So this is going to be -2/3. Yeah, so this is 1/2. And this is b. So we need to add 2/3 in both sides. So this is not a big deal. This is just 6. And then this is going to be 3 plus 47, right? Because if you find common denominator here, that's multiplied by 3. And here we multiply by 2, right? You want to do it that way. So this is 3/6 plus 4/6 equals 7/6, and that's b, right? So y equals the slope x plus 7/6. So that's the equation of the tangent line at x equals 4, right? Okay. If they asking you find the equation of the normal line, then that means that will be, since the slope is -1/16. Remember, the equation of the normal line, right? It's just the slope is the opposite reciprocal, right? So f of 4 will be the reciprocal is -16. Opposite reciprocal means it's just 16. So now the equation will be 16x plus b. Now you need to plug 4 and 1/2 here. So 16 times 4, 1/2 plus b. So this is going to be 64 equals 1/2. So subtracting -64 in both sides, we get -127/2, right? That's b. So y equals 16x minus 127/2. That's the equation of the normal line. Okay, so it's different, right? It's different. It's very different. Okay, that's it. Next. 2. Find the equation of the tangent line. So let me copy this. And let's keep solving this stuff, right? Okay, so the definition, right? F prime of x equals the limit as h approaches 0 of this thing, right? F x plus h minus f of x over h. So just plug the function, right? So this is going to be, I'm going to make it x to make it simple, okay? So that's going to be x plus h to the second power plus 1, right? Minus x squared minus 1 over h. That means I can multiply by that conjugate, right? X plus h to the second power plus 1, okay? Plus 1 minus, I'm sorry, actually plus x squared minus, actually it's plus 1, right? Yeah, plus 1 here. And then over the same thing, right? So let's copy paste this stuff. Copy, paste. Okay. That's it, right? So we compute and we get the inside. This is the difference of squares again, minus this stuff that is inside. okay? And this is gonna be h times all these things, right? Okay, so now we need to find the limit as h approaches 0. So we need to expand this, right? So this is gonna be x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 1 minus x squared minus 1 over all this mumble jumble, right? Okay, copy, paste, okay. And let's see, we can cancel things here. So this cancel with that, 81 cancel with that. So we have 2xh plus h squared over, again, this thing, right? Limit as h approaches 0. So factor, right? H, 2x plus h over h and this thing. Okay, so this is the limit as h approaches 0. So that h's they cancel, and we get basically this thing. Never mind. Copy, paste. So we get this thing, right? And this is the limit as h approaches 0. So now we have that. So at this point, we can plug things in. Let's see what happens. So if we get this, we get 2x over h, I mean, it's 0 now. So that's going to be just x squared. Oh, this is together, right? Yes. Okay. So this is going to be x squared plus 1 plus x squared plus 1. Therefore, this is 2x over, we have 2 square root of x squared plus 1. And you can cancel the 2's. Sorry. You can cancel the 2's and you get x over x squared plus 1. So that's the derivative, right? This is f prime of x. Okay. And now you can find the limit definition, right? So we need the value at what? At a equals 3, right? So a equals 3. That means, and what was the function originally? X squared plus 1. So the function is x squared plus 1. We just need to plug it in. So if f of 3 is root 10, right? And so that means that this is 3 comma 10. I mean, 3 comma root 10, right? This is x and this is y. And you need to find the slope of the tangent line. So f of 3 equals 3 over root 10, right? So now the equation is y equals mx plus b. You know y is 10. You know x is 3 root 10. You know x is 3, and this is b. So that's going to be 9 root 10 plus b equals root 10, right? Subtracting equals b, right? Multiply top and bottom by root 10 to find common denominator. That's going to be 10 minus 9 over root 10. So that's going to be 1 over root 10. That's the b, the y-intercept. And now you need to do y equals mx plus b. So y equals 1 over root 10 x, and b, you know, I'm sorry, the y-intercept, slope of the tangent line is 3 root 10 x plus 1 over root 10. That's it. Okay? That's the slope of the tangent line. Okay, next. What's the other problem? This one. Okay, last one. This one, right? Same thing. Limit definition, f prime of x equals the limit as h approaches 0 of fx plus h minus f of x over h, right? So what is the limit? The limit is this function, right? So I need to put 1 over x plus h to the second power plus 1 minus 1 over x squared plus 1 over just h, right? So now at this point, let's see what happens here. Okay, I can multiply everything by x plus h to the second power plus 1 times x squared plus 1, and the same thing in the denominator. Okay. Okay, if you do all that stuff, you get x squared plus 1 minus all these things, x plus h to the second power plus 1 all over h and all this stuff, right? So that's this part. So this is the limit as h approaches 0. Now let's simplify things here. X squared plus 1 minus, we need to expand this. So this is x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 1 over all these things, right? Okay. So that's that. So now we need to simplify. Remember, this is the limit as h approaches 0. So this is x squared plus 1, and everything inside here is going to change the sign because we have the negative here, right? So that's going to be negative x squared minus 2xh minus h squared minus 1 all over all this stuff, right? Okay, not a big deal. So now these cancels. So these cancel with that, the 1 cancel with that. So we get negative h squared minus 2xh over this mumble jumble that is on the denominator. Copy, paste, limit as h approaches 0. Okay, so we need to factor the negative h. We get h minus, actually plus, right? Plus 2x. Okay, and now we have h in the denominator and all this stuff, right? So copy, what happened? Copy, paste. Okay, so now you can cancel the h's. So this cancels. So you get negative h minus 2x basically over whatever is in the denominator, right? So I'm gonna copy this. So now let's think about this. The limit as h approaches 0. So if h approaches 0, that means that this disappears, right? So we got negative 2x. The limit as h approaches 0, that means that this is just x squared plus 1. And this is also x squared plus 1. Therefore, this is negative 2x over x squared plus 1 to the second power. So the derivative f prime of x equals this thing. Now we need to find the define it. This is the derivative, or this is the slope of the tangent line, but they want a specific point, right? They want at a equals 0. Let me bring the function back. A f of x equals 1 over x squared plus 1. 1 over x, 1 over x squared plus 1 at 0, right? A equals 0. So that means that when this is 0, we need to find the slope of the tangent line at 0. Well, if this is 0, that's going to be 0, right? Because if we plug 0 in the function, that's what we get. And the y value, f of 0. Interesting. So this is 0, that's going to be 1, right? So 0, 1 is the points of interest, but the slope is 0. So that means that this y equals mx plus b. There's no y equals mx plus, there's no slope intercept form. I mean, there's no y slope intercept form, because if the slope is 0, that means that this term disappears entirely, right? So we have just the y-intercept, which is y equals b, right? So y equals b means what? Y equals b, it means just the y-intercept, right? So that's just 1, the y value of this, right? So that's it. We're done. That was it. Next. Okay. What's next here in this test? Okay, this thing, right? I think I did this in class a little bit. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, I'm gonna do these 5 problems. I think I did this in class, but just in case you're still confused. Okay, find the derivative, right? So f of x equals 3x minus 2 to the 10 power 5x squared plus 1 to the 12 power. So f prime of x, this is the product rule, right? Product rule. Okay, so this is 10, 3x minus 10 to the 9 power 3, right? Because of the chain rule, right? And then we have to do the other term, the 5x squared plus 1 to the 12 power stays the same. So this is plus, remember this is f g, right? Equals f prime g plus, well, you can say f g prime, right? You can do that. That's the product rule. And now we need to do the, we leave the first term the same, and we take the derivative of the second term. So this is 12, 5x squared plus 1 to the 11. This is 10x. Okay. Now we need to factor this thing if you want the same thing as the solution that they have in there. So here it's going to be 30, right? So 30 from here and here, right? You get 30 from here and here. And then, well, this term, you have here 3x minus 2, right? So you put the least power. So in this case, it would be 9. Then you have this guy, 5x squared plus 1 to 11 power, and this thing is the same. So you put the one with the least power. In this case, that, well, that's the GCF, right? This thing, and let's see what else. That's it, right? That's it. Okay. So here you will have, okay, let me see. So you just have, for the first term, you have 5x squared plus 1, right? And then for the second plus, for the second term, you will have, well, we have 120 here, right? So 120 should be 4 here, 4x times 3x minus 2 to the first power. And let's see. That's it, right? That's it. Now you compute this, and this is 30, 3x minus 2 to the 9 power, 5x squared plus 11, plus 1 to the 11 power. And then you can simplify the inside, right? So this is 5 squared plus 1 plus 12x squared minus 8x, right? Did I miss something here? Let me see. 5, okay, 4x that take care of this. And then we have 3x minus 2. Okay. Yeah, that should be it, right? Okay, so you can combine these two together. This is 17, x squared minus 8x plus 1. And then this is 30, 3x minus 2 to the 9 power, 5x squared plus 1 to 11 power. I just want to make sure that I have the same as they have before, right? Just want to make sure of that. And let's see. I put the answer for you earlier. I'm not wrong. Yeah, this was the answer, right? So this was the number. Let me bring both, so I need to come back. So that was the answer for this problem, right? Let's see. I got 30 x squared. Yeah, same thing, right? Same thing. Next number, this one. These are the difficult ones. If we can do these ones, we can do the other ones easily. So the derivative, again, same rule, right? Same thing, same thing. So the derivative is the product rule, 3 6x squared plus 5 to the second power, chain rule, 12x, right? Plus, oh no, and I need to copy the same thing for the other term. Okay, let me make it smaller a little bit so everything can fit. And then plus, then this one stays fixed. And then the derivative of the second term. So this is 4x cubed minus 7. And then the derivative of x cubed minus 7 is just 3x squared, right? So now it's about factoring and combining like terms and this kind of stuff, right? So we get here 36x, 6x squared plus 5 to the second power. And then we have x cubed minus 7 to the fourth plus, well, we can combine these two. So that's going to be 12x to the second, 6x squared plus 5 to the third, x cubed minus 7. Now we need to do the factoring, right? So we have this term and this term. You put the one that has the least power. So it should be this one. Then the 36 and the 12, that's 12x, right? For these numbers, for these two. And what else? The 3x, this, oh, sorry. This one and this one, we pull out the x cubed minus 7 to the first. So that turns out to be what? 3. And x cubed minus 7 to the third. And then plus x, right? And then we get 6x squared plus 5 to the first power. And that's it, right? So now we can do 12x, everything stays the same, right? This stays the same, okay? And then we can do the inside. I'm not gonna touch this because if we touch this, it's gonna be long, but we can do this one, right? So this is 6x cubed plus 5x, right? And let's see what else they did. I mean, I don't think they did the inside, honestly. Let's see. Oh, here, this one, 12, okay. And when we multiply that, we get 3, 6x squared plus 2. And then, okay, that's right. And then the other one, we get 12. And then we have 6, and that's right. Yes, that should be the answer. Yeah, that should be the answer. Let's see what they did. They have some weird stuff. Let me see. Let me see what they did algebraic. Okay. So they have the same. Only here I have a problem. We have 9x cubed. Okay, so I have to simplify something here inside. Let me see what's going on. So let's see. Okay, 3, 6 squared plus 5 to the second. Okay, 12x. Okay. Okay, plus 4x cubed minus 7. Oh, here I missed the third. I have to put the third. Okay. Yeah, that might be the error. So, okay, so this stays as it is. And let's do this combination again one more time. Okay, so the only difference is that we need to pull out still the 12x, the 6x squared, but now this time, let me do the factoring because that's the factoring is wrong here, right? Just miss one. You have to be careful when you're doing these problems, okay? 12x, okay, it's the 6x squared, x cubed, not here, this is 3, okay? So now you need to pull out the 12x, 6x squared plus 5, x cubed minus 7 to the third power. Okay, now it's okay. So now this is going to be 3, and this is going to be x cubed minus 7 to the first power plus Now the other term, right? So that's going to be x and x, and then we have 6x squared plus 5 to the first, and that's it. Now we can combine like terms. So this is going to be 3x cubed minus 21 plus 6x cubed plus 5x, and then this thing stays the same. Okay, now we simplify the inside. So this is going to be 9x cubed plus 5x minus 21, and this thing stays the same. So that's the answer. And let's check again. Right, now this time is okay. This time is okay. Okay, be careful when you're doing this problem. Next, these two, right? These two, these ones are easy. So here, the derivative y prime equals derivative of cosine is negative sine, x cubed, derivative of these two in the chain rule, this is 3x squared. So the answer is negative 3x squared sine x to the third power. This one, you rewrite it first. And then you do y prime equals 3 cosine x to the second. Derivative of cosine is negative sine. So therefore, this is y prime equals negative 3 sine x cosine. So I can do just cosine squared x. That's it, done. Okay, next. This one, right? So here we have y prime equals, okay, I'm gonna rewrite it first. Sine, cosine, 4x to the second power. So this is y prime equals 2 sine, cosine, 4x to the first power. The derivative of sine is cosine, cosine, 4x. And then I need to take the derivative of this one. So that's going to be sine 4x, and then take the derivative of this 4x, right? And that's going to be just 4. So y prime equals 8 sine cosine. Well, I need just to copy everything, right? Yeah. So let me just copy that. No need to rewrite it. Save the time. Okay, 8, copy, paste. That's the answer. Okay. That's a chain rule. Next. Let's see what else is next. This one, right? Find the limit. So this is very easy. Yeah, algebra, that's it. So for the first one, the limit as x approaches 2. So this is basically factoring, right? So this is going to be, you always plug the number, right? But in this case, it's going to give you 0 over 0. So that's the undeterminate form. You don't want that. So you do factoring. This is going to be x plus 3, x minus 2, right? And then this is going to be x plus 2, x minus 2. X plus 3, x plus 2. The limit as x approaches 2, that's going to be 5 over 4. That's it. Done. Okay. Next, the limit. Okay, let's factor this. So this is going to be same thing, right? X plus 3. I put the same problem twice. Okay, so that means that this is the same thing. It's the same exact problem. X squared. Yeah, it's the same exact problem. So, well, let's review it. So this is x plus 3, x minus 2, the factor, right? The trinomial. right? Remember, when this sign is negative, the two signs are going to be different, right? And what two numbers, when you multiply, they give you 6, it's going to be 3 and negative 2. And when you combine, give you positive 1, or 3x, negative 2x is 1x, right? So that's the middle term. And x times x is x squared. And then the denominator is the difference of squares, right? X squared minus 4 is the same as saying x squared minus 2 squared, which is the same as a squared minus b squared. And you know that this is equal to a plus b, a minus b. You know, if, well, in this case, a is x and b is 2, right? So this is going to be x plus 2x minus 2 plus 2, x minus 2. Boom, boom. X plus 3, x plus 2, limit as x approaches 2, that's going to be 5/4. Same thing, right? Okay, that's it. That's a review. Thank you.